are away down south in Natchez, where the Mississippi silently wends its way, and life in general goes on as peacefully as it did in the romantic days before the Civil War. The city of Natchez itself is like almost any other town of its size and wealth in the South, but it does not concern us nearly as much as the scenes beyond the business thoroughfares, scenes that remind us of the days before the war, when Natchez on the Mississippi was the queen of the South, and her architecture, music, and romance were the important items of the day. With this traditional background in mind, the Natchez Garden Club, including in its membership the descendants of old Southern families, organized to perpetuate memories of the pre-war Natchez by restoring many of its old homesteads and inaugurating pilgrimages to these shrines, which now take place every year under the auspices of the Natchez Garden Club during the latter part of March and the early part of April. This old frame house, known as Connolly's Tavern, recently restored by the Natchez Garden Club, was built in 1792 during the Spanish rule in Natchez. According to history, the Stars and Stripes were first raised on this site by Andrew Ellicott, sent from Washington to survey the line between the United States and Spanish territory. And today, that flag-raising ceremony is reenacted by patriotic ladies of Natchez, who salute the pre-war flag of their forefathers with the undying spirit of old Dixie. And now let us journey along the road to yesteryear and visit a few of the famous old shrines of Natchez. Edgewood, the home of the Lambton family, built in 1855, is still occupied by the direct descendants of the builders, the children of whom don costumes at pilgrimage time and reenact the playtime scenes of the Old South. At Englewood, Jenny Lind, the Swedish nightingale, once attended a lawn party and sang to the guests from these steps. And the song she sang still echoes throughout the shrines of Natchez in the strains of long, long ago. This old mammy is an ex-slave, over 90 years of age, and she reminds us that no retrospect of the pre-war South would be complete without the colored folks, who contributed a major part to the music, dancing, and folklore of old Dixie. Aunt Jenny, now in her late 80s, tells us that in spite of sentimental stories to the contrary, no merrier people ever lived than the colored folks of the pre-war South. Uncle Mose and Uncle Ned remember in their boyhood days when white gentlemen and ladies fair gathered at Melrose, as the local folks of Natchez do now at pilgrimage time, to witness and take part in the colorful tableau of the long ago. We admire the enthusiasm of the Natchez people who voluntarily participate in this annual pageantry, and we congratulate them for keeping alive the spirit of the Old South, which has given so much to the culture and refinement of our country. Out of the more practical features of the North, we may have obtained our economic status, but it is to the South that we turn for the music and romance of our yesteryears. Of all the romantic scenes of Old Dixie, reenacted each year in the springtime at Natchez, none is more colorful than the wedding march.
Here comes the bride, groom by her side, soldiers of Dixie and maids of the bride. This is the day love has its way, romance and glory and love for the groom and bride. Dreaming the happy hours away, in visions bright redeeming.
And so it is in Natchez on the Mississippi that the romantic days of yesteryear are born again, and the Old South returns unto its own.
My dream.